Hello, welcome to the Newspaper Review here on TAF TV. My name is William Sabule, and today is the 9th day of September 2022. And here on the Newspaper Review today is a very, very special edition. I'm sure you're wondering what we are about today, but then we are joining the rest of the world to mourn the death of Queen Elizabeth II, a very great monarch, one that has really influenced the entire world. And today we want to review the life and times of this very great queen. She's a very superpower woman, world power, I must say. And with the sudden death of this woman, I mean, it's no longer breaking news. She died yesterday at the age of 96 in the UK, and the whole world has been thrown into mourning. And even here in Nigeria, our President Muhammadu Buhari has also put out a statement in condolence with the British monarch over the death of the Queen. And here on TAF TV, we want to just go on to review the life and times of this very powerful woman, her wins, her losses, and her life generally. And to do that with me is the beautiful Ashley Sioko. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. And together we're going to, just go through how this woman has affected the world in general and, Nigeria and everybody else. So you can also drop your comments and your reactions on the comment section. Would love to hear what you think about the death of this great monarch that has really affected the world, both positively and every other way alike. So drop your comments and your reactions. And if this is the first time you're seeing this video, don't forget you can also, follow us by clicking on the subscribe button. Don't forget to also turn on your notification key, because that's how you get notified whenever we come up with a new episode of the program. All right, without wasting much time, let's just go into the conversations straight away. All right, Ashley, you're welcome once more.
Thank you.
All right. The death of the Queen came as a shocker to many, even though she's old, 96 years old. But I'm sure a lot of people didn't want her to just die, especially those people in England. That you could see the way a lot of people have moved to Buckingham Palace to express their condolences with plenty flowers and all of those. It feels as if she should live forever. Yes. But then the whole world is mourning. How do you feel about the death of this woman?
Like you said, it came as a shock because we know she has been ill for a while.
Yeah.
But on Tuesday, she had a meeting with the new prime minister. So it sort of gave hope, like, okay, she's getting stronger, she's recovering, maybe she'll resume some, official duties again. And all of a sudden, I think earlier yesterday, there was a news that, she's back to being really ill, and in a few hours we heard that she was dead. So, like you said, it's a shock. She's old, yes, but we've all gotten used to having her around. I mean, she's been there for 96 years.
Yeah.
So she's older than a lot of us. So we got used to her being around, and, it started to feel like she was going to be there forever. So yeah, shock is the right word.
All right. 70 years of being 70 years of being the Queen of England, not just the Queen of England, the Queen of the entire world, because world leaders have all come to accept and recognize her strength as a leader. And a lot of people go there and rely on her advice. And, meeting the Queen is like meeting a god on earth. Yes. And what would you say are her wins and the controversies that have surrounded the life of this woman before now?
I think her biggest win is the fact that she was the longest serving monarch. No other person has served as long as she has, 70 years. That's 7 decades.
Wow.
And so I think that's, we'll say, her biggest win. And she's a mother, a grandmother, and even a great grandmother. So that's part of her wins. I don't think any monarch has been respected and treasured like her own has been. Like you said, people are in front of the palace. I'm sure some people slept there. Like the whole world is torn apart by her death. I mean, everyone loses someone in their 90s, and you're like, okay, celebration of life. But somehow everyone is still heartbroken by the death of someone that is 96. So those are her wins. The fact that people love her, people respect her, and she left a mark. We all know that when she became queen, she wasn't even in England when it happened. She was away touring African countries on behalf of her father that was too ill to do it then. And, she heard of the sudden death of her father. She had to go back to England and all of that. And I believe, I read somewhere that she is still the most third monarch. Among everyone that has ruled, no one has toured the world like she has. So she was the people's queen. She was all out there. She gave herself to, the service of being a queen. But like you said, her controversies, her losses, a few things happened during her time. By the time she was queen, it wasn't normal to have royalties divorce their wives or husbands, and that happened a lot with her children, starting from the current king, His Majesty King Charles III. He allegedly, had an affair while married to Princess Diana. Eventually, they went their separate ways. He married someone else. Her son also got divorced. Her daughter, the same thing. So this kind of tainted her image, because then it was not normal. It's not like now that everyone, understands that divorce happened. Then it wasn't
she
normal.
was doing a lot to try to prevent
Yes,
that,
she tried. She really wanted to, put the family the same, but the world was changing, and so at some point it became inevitable. We also know that one of her son, Prince Andrew, had some allegations against him of sexual misconduct. Like, so many things has happened during, her own time. So many unfortunate things, including the death of Princess Diana, which some people blamed the royal family for it. We also have when the palace got damaged by fire. I think that was 1992 or so. So a lot of terrible things happened during her time. But somehow she still found a way to, to shine through it. I mean, Olympics, I think that was 2012. That was a big deal for England. The royal wedding between her grandson and Princess Kate, that also, reminded everyone of how powerful and how influential the royal family is on the entire world, not just England. So she had her ups, and she definitely had her downs.
Yeah, she has lived quite an interesting life, and she has really affected a lot of people with her lifestyle, the world entirely. And I must also add that she's one of the most fashionable, queens of all time. I mean, she has a very great fashion sense, and her smile, her charisma, it's something to reckon with. All right, moving on. I'd like to ask, with the death of the Queen now, what next? I mean, King Charles III has been crowned the king, even though he's yet to be coronated. But then, what follows next? What do you make of, this new reign of King Charles III?
Yesterday, I tried to say God save the king, and it just sounded weird because my entire life, what we say is God save the queen. So we're used to, and it kind of gave us this girl power that the most famous woman in the world, or the most famous person in the world is a woman, and all of that. But he has been working towards being a king his entire life. As soon as his mom became, or as soon as his grandfather became a king, it was obvious he would one day become a king. So,
and he had to wait 70 years.
Yeah, so, but he has been groomed for it his entire life. So I don't think he would have any issues with that. But we also know that he has a few times found it difficult to put his emotions aside and, prioritize the throne. So I don't know if that will come to play in his reign. I mean, he's 70 now, so he's a lot more mature than when he was in his 73. Than when he was, in his 20s, when he was in his 30s, married to Princess Diana and all of that. But I know it's going to take some adjusting too, because the Queen wasn't just the Queen of England and the Commonwealth nations. She was also the glue that held the family together. I feel like if she has not been around, the family probably would have fallen apart by now. So it's going to be a lot of burden for him, not just to rule England, but to be the head of his family. So it's going to take some adjusting for the entire family to stop seeing him as just our grandpa or my father. He is now the King of England. But I know he will scale through it. I mean, he has his son, Prince Williams, and he seems pretty grounded. So I don't think the monarch will fall apart because he's the king.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. All right, we're going to come back with more of that conversation and more insights into the life and times of the Queen of England, the late Queen of England, I must say, because it's hard to even refer to her as late. I mean, because I've been so used to calling her, seeing her as a very, very present woman. So trying to refer to her as late is already a difficult thing for me to do. But we'll come back to talking more about her life after this short break. You stay tuned, and don't forget to also drop your comments and the reactions on the comment section. We'd love to hear what you think about this very great monarch. You stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hey there, are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, welcome back from that very short break. If you're just joining us, we're still looking at the life and times of the Queen of England, the late Queen of England. We're talking about the person of Queen Elizabeth II. She died yesterday at the age of 96, and we're trying to go through her lives, her wins, her losses, and everything about this great monarch. So, and I'm here with Miss Ashley Sioko. Anyway, she's a Mrs. So. She's a Mrs. All right, so I'm going to ask you, a lot of people are still confused as to why we have a lot of attention on, this monarch at this point in time. I mean, she's just one of those monarchs and she died, so why is the whole world on standstill? And they don't understand, the relevance of this monarchy to the entire world, especially to Nigeria. Can you, give us or enlighten us about how relevant this monarch is to the entire world?
Okay, let me start with why it's important to Nigeria. I think it's important to us because Britain colonized us. Yeah. So there's no long explanation. We were colonized by Britain, and we still have strong ties with them. That is why it's important to Nigeria. But as the world altogether, I think it's because this monarch has been around since like the 10th century. So it's still the longest royal family that's ever existed. Like when we had the British royal family then in the 10th century, we also had different European countries also had their own monarch, from Spain to Germany to Denmark and so on, even some Asian countries and all of that. But most of them have fallen. By the end of Second World War, most of them were gone. That form of leadership changed in most of these countries. First, they started to assign prime ministers, and with time, the monarch just went away. That's a story for another day. But for some reason, Britain or England has stood its ground with, with the royal family. Even though, yes, the responsibilities of the royal family and the responsibility of the prime ministers are quite different, but the prime minister still pays respect to the royal family. Like whoever is on the throne right now, we know it's King Charles, is like a boss to the prime minister. So I think one of the reasons why it's so important to the world is because of how long it has existed. For a family to have ruled a nation since the 10th century, like we're talking maybe Queen Elizabeth's 10th or 30th great-grandfather or something. So they've been around for too long not to respect. I mean, you have to celebrate the longevity of, how long the family has been there. So I think that's why it's so important to the world. Like this family is so powerful and influential. And especially this generation, starting from Queen Elizabeth to the youngest, they also represent simplicity. Like you can be royal, but you can be simple. I mean, we see how Prince William dresses, how Princess Kate dresses. Like they still exhibit simplicity. So it makes you feel like, yes, I'm not royalty, but I'm not that, far from them. Their royalty, their names can open any door, but they try to portray as much humanity as they can. So it's not like they walk around acting like gods over us and all of that. So this is, I would say is one of the reasons why their family is so fascinating to the entire world.
So what's next for the entire family?
Just mourn the loss. Like we lost a queen, or the world lost a queen. They lost their mom, their grandmother, their great-grandmother. So they'll just have to go through the loss like every one of us will if we lose someone close to us. I know for the next couple of days and weeks, it's going to be crazy in that country, especially London and all of that. But yes, they'll just go through it. It will probably even make them a lot of money because tourists will probably troop in, to go around and all of that. People will definitely come for her funeral, which means that security will probably tighten up at airports, whatever means people used to come into the country. There'll be a lot of chaos, but it doesn't change the fact that the family is in mourning, but they'll be fine.
I so think so too.
Yes.
All right, then moving on, I want to finally ask you, how does the death of this queen affect, the foreign relations with Nigeria's foreign relations with Britain?
I don't think it will affect in a negative way or in a positive way, because our relationship with them is rock solid. So yes, she has been there since, but she wasn't even the monarch in charge when we were colonized. So Nigeria, our relationship with Britain has gone through different monarchies, so it will not change anything. I don't think any law will be changed. I don't think it will affect, our access to whatever they have to offer, or their access to whatever we have to offer. Things will just go on as, as it has always been.
All right, moving on. One of my concerns have always been that now that the queen is dead, the grandchildren, I'm referring to Prince Harry and Williams. Harry recently got married, and not just getting married, he left the palace, and that has really created a lot of controversy in the media, people wondering why he took that step. What do you think of the unity of the family now that the queen is gone, especially in relations to these two princes, that is William and Harry?
Yeah, it's also a scary place for me because, like I said earlier, I feel like she was the glue that, held the whole family together. But if, even while still alive, Harry could, step back from royal duties and everything just to protect his family, you can imagine, how far he would go now that she's no longer. So I'm hoping that things don't get worse. That they find a way, for her sake, for the fact that she has passed, that should, at least bring them back together and all that. But I don't think it will make him step back into royal duties, at least not anytime soon, because the reasons why he left are still there. The hate people had towards his wife, the constant backlash, the obsession with paparazzi. He didn't want what happened to his mom, because we all know how his mom died, how paparazzi, they were chasing her, and even when the accident happened, they didn't save her. They were just after getting their clicks, their pictures and all of that. So he doesn't want that, because it was almost looking like she couldn't do anything without paparazzi obsessing over her or following her about. So, they stepped back. So I don't think that would make him, her passing would make him step back in. But I'm hoping that whatever rift is between he and his brother, that for her death, they settle it. Because there's obviously something there, or let me say allegedly. But the news is that they are not even in good terms. They are not communicating well. So I'm hoping that now that she has died, grieving her loss, bring them together and, settle whatever the issue is. But I don't think Harry will step back into public roles.
Okay, looking at the new king, King Charles III, he hasn't been in the spotlight like the others. I mean, even though the very last time a lot of people had to pay attention to him was during the divorce between him and Princess Diana.
Yes.
What would you make of Prince Charles III? How do you think his reign, in projection, how do you think his reign is going to run?
In all honesty, I feel like if he had a way, he won't be king. If it was left to him, I feel like he would not want to be king. He has always, portrayed his personality like, I know I was born into this thing, but if I had a choice, if I could choose, I would just be a regular person. I mean, first of all, we heard about how his current wife was someone he was initially in love with, but no royalty to her title or something. So he had to go for Lady Diana, which now became a princess when they got married. And the allegedly is that he was still having an affair with Camelot, I think that's her name, while married to Diane, and which led to... So I think that was the time that he was really in the public eye as a young bachelor when he just got married, all the allegations around all the controversies around his marriage. Then when Diana now became the princess, she did things that royalties don't do. She was wearing dresses that they don't wear. She really went out when it comes to helping the orphanage or helping less privileged. She would even touch victims with AIDS, which wasn't done before her. So all of that made him, in the light, or kept him in the limelight. But after her passing, everyone kind of stepped back. It almost became as if his life wasn't interesting anymore. But I think he likes it like that. I don't think he really, especially at this age, really enjoys, being talked about, being the headline and all of that. So I think if he has a choice, he will not be king. But he's already there. He doesn't have a choice. So I think he's going to be a laid-back king. I don't think, except if he surprises us, but I don't think he's going to break any record. I don't think he's going to do more than his mom did. I don't think he can meet up the standard that, Queen Elizabeth has already set. And he's actually already in his 70s. So it's not like he's becoming king in his 20s or early 30s that you say he still has so many years to rule. I mean, he's still going to be around for a long time, but he's not going to rule as long as his mother did, which I think is even for the best. So there's lesser pressure on him. How much do we really expect from someone in his 70s and all of that? So I think he's going to be a laid-back king. He will do the basic minimum, but he will not, he will not go out there. He will not break records as the King of England.
Do you think being laid back, as you project, he would be? Do you think that will reduce the powers?
That the family.
Yes, because the Queen exudes a lot of power. Like she was this power figure. Do you think that's going to kind of like tone it down?
I think it will. I think it will. It will reduce the attention that the family gets generally. It will really reduce it. I think people are even more excited about seeing the kind of King Williams will be and the kind of Queen Kate will be than King Charles and his wife. So yes, the popularity of the royal family will definitely reduce in these coming years. I mean, there will still be people that will be curious to see how he's handling things compared to his mom. I mean, he's filling a shoe that is way bigger than his feet can handle. But yes, I believe the family will lose some popularity while he's king.
Yeah. All right, that's all I want to ask you today. And to our viewers, I want to thank you for staying with us till this time on the Newspaper Review Special Edition. And we have reviewed the life and times of the Queen of England, the late Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II. And although they have a new king now in person of King Charles III, but in times to come, we'll continue to update you on the happenings from Britain, what's going on, what is next, and what's happening, and even down to the funeral of Queen Elizabeth. Make sure you are tuned to us by first subscribing to this channel. If this is the first time you're seeing this channel, subscribe to it, because we have lots of interesting programs coming your way from here. And also don't forget to turn on your notification. We're also on all the social media handles. We're on Facebook at Staff TV. On Instagram is StaffTV_NG, and on Twitter is at Staff TV. So stay connected to us on all of this platform as we continue to update you on the death of the Queen of England. Until next time I come your way again, my name is Williams Abule, and this has been the Newspaper Review. Thank you so much, Ashley. I must say thank you to you before I go. All right, until next time, my name is Williams Abule, and this has been the Newspaper Review Special Edition.